Alright, so today we're flying blind. This we got a broken thing for the shower. And I don't know how I'm gonna fix this, but I'm tired of this situation, and every time I go to Home Depot they don't really have the right thing for this. So I'm gonna take this off and see what I can do about crafting something based on what I have available to me in the shop. And I figured I'd take you along for the ride today. So here it is. There's an Allen screw in the bottom here. I'm just gonna find the right size here in my little kit and pull this off, and then we'll go downstairs and see what I got to kind of improvise a new handle. Okay, so clearly this is what we've got, just a set screw, and you can see the part on the inside here that was broken out of plastic. And what I'm gonna try to do is fashion something that pretty much replicates what happened here. So yeah, I've got to figure out a way to manufacture something that'll fit in there and also fit around the outside. So I'm gonna scrounge around the shop and see what I can come up with here. This is not gonna be very easy. Maybe we'll look out. Let's see what I got. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, because really this is bigger than I need. All I need to do is go around that little stump that's coming out, the little stubby guy. So I'm gonna try to use this really thick piece of steel tubing. I'll end up painting it and whatever, but I think that would make a nice lever once, maybe this long, half the size of that, just to make a nice lever to give you some leverage. But what I got to do is tap it out and put a little, tap it out and put some threads in there. And what I'm also going to do is pinch this down a little bit so it's not so, circular, because I want to kind of center this on that post. So if I make this flatter, it'll bring the center point, anyways, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Okay, so I don't have the thread, the proper thread count for this, so I think I'm just gonna pretty much do away with that altogether and just go with the idea of taking this, tapping it out, and using 1/4 inch by 20 threads count, and we're just gonna drill a hole and tap this real quick, and then I'll just find a regular screw to put in there and call it a day, and then I think we're gonna be all right. Okay, so first things first, I think I'm gonna just heat up the end of this and then throw it in the vise, and then just kind of clamp it down. I gotta get this in a little bit tighter, but we'll just heat it up, squish it down, and then I'll have a nice flat surface to gauge where I want to tap the hole, so I know that the screw will be centered. But yeah, let's get this close. And then we're just gonna basically heat the heck up off the end of that, stick it in there, and hope that it squeezes pretty flat. Let's try this out. All right, let's clamp it in. Oh yeah, that's gonna make a nice squish. That's good. That's probably what we want, because then we'll thread it through. That'll be somewhat centered in the middle. I'm probably gonna have to put something on either side just so the screw doesn't flip around, but that's simple enough. I can probably just put a nut in there, or maybe even just throw some metal in there and spot weld it. I don't know. We'll see what it fits like first. I'm not going to cool it right now first, though. I'm going to drill it, because right now it's hot, and if I quench it, it's going to harden. So I'm going to drill it before I make it cold. So let me go ahead and get my drill set up, and I'll drill this out. All right, so I'm going to first just make a quick little divot here. I think it's about right in the middle size. Let me make sure it's about the same width, or, depth that this was on that collar. Oop, could probably have tightened that up a little more. All right, either way, we got the dimple in there. Okay, drill it out first. Okay, hole is through. Get our 1/4 inch by 20 tap here. go ahead and tap this. Kind of get in there started, backing it up until it grabs nice and straight. Perfect. Perfect. Once you get it started and start seeing some curls, you want to back it up a little bit. You gotta get some, there we go. Perfect. And we're bottoming out, so I guess we're through. Awesome. That's all we need. So now, what we're gonna do is go find a 1/4 by 20 inch, 1/4 by 20 screw, and we'll be right back. I found a nice brass screw, and I'm just gonna trim this down because obviously that's overkill. All right, so I've got the brass screw over here in the vise with just a small coping saw here, and we're just gonna cut this kind of somewhere less than half, just so we get a nice clean cut, and it should be easy to thread it back in there. Go ahead and do this. Okay, so we've got that in there nicely, and you can see it's perfectly going through. Very easy to turn by hand, which is great. And what I have to do now is just put something on either side to stop it from rolling, like, to stop the center pin from rolling to either side when I tighten this up. I'm almost wondering if I just put something down the middle and then just tack weld some stuff on the side, down the side, just stick a couple screws in there and tack weld them in. That should just get it done. Okay, so what I found is that with the tension on the side, these screws are actually really tight, and I just screw them in, and I don't need to weld anything. So I'm gonna just screw this in as far as I can get it, and then just cut it flush with the top. See where I'm going with that? It's just gonna fill up that space, and then that screw can't go anywhere but up, you know what I'm saying? All right, there you can see I got one in and cut flush. I'm gonna just do another one on the other side now. Boom. Okay, so I lied. I put them both in, and I just put a tack weld, a little tack weld on the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and grind this down now, and I think we're gonna be good. I'm just gonna clean up the other side and test fit it, and then we'll paint it and make it look a little smoother. And I think we might have a usable lever until we can find the actual replacement part. Boom. All right, so here we are. I have got the pieces welded. You can see I basically made just a little channel there. So the set screw in the middle will only go in that center area. This still turns, so that's great. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up, cut it down, probably about, yay long, and then probably weld the front so there's no hole in there, and polish it up, make it look a little more like an actual knob, or lever, I should say. Okay, so here we are at the top of the cutoff piece. I wanna kind of, weld over the top of this to make somewhat of a dome, but that's a lot of gap to fill, so I think I'm gonna just take this washer, or this nut, and pop that in there, tack it in, and then just cover the whole thing with weld, and then we'll be able to have some meat to kind of address on the grinder. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. All right, so as you can see, I've got kind of like a, half welded in there. The whole nut is welded around the outside like a little lifesaver. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and bridge the gap and finish it up, but first, what I do generally is, focus, clean up the welds a little bit, brush that off, see what we got. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover the top, and I'll show you what that looks like. So there you can see a couple welds just kind of snot welded on top of there, and we're just gonna build up, and then I think we'll be good to go. So let's continue on with that, and then we'll clean it up on the grinder, and this thing will be looking like a Faber, whatever the hell, what's the, Price Fister? Yeah, Price Fister. This is gonna be some high-end Home Depot shit. All right, I think that's just about as good of a starting place as any. If we need to add more material, we'll go ahead and come back to the grinder, but I'm gonna cool this off and start it on the grinder and see what we got. All right, so here we are. We're getting there. I have just a little bit on the top here. Focus. A little bit right there, a little divot that I need to just little backfill. But the rest looks pretty good. I might hit that little bit right there too. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit that. Just want to show you the progress. But you can see it's starting to look a little more like a lever. You know, it's starting to get there or something. But yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. This is going to work. Let me go ahead and finish tack welding some more stuff in that little joint there and that little bad seam. And we'll be right back after I polish her up. All right, as you can see, that's much better. That's about ready to just go ahead and hit the rest with the 3M wheel and just smooth it out. And then we'll go ahead and just check it upstairs and make sure it works before we go ahead and paint it and make sure it's rust proof for a while. But yeah, that's basically the general idea. Let's see what happens once I clean it up. All right, so we're up here and we've got the piece. We're gonna go ahead and see what happens if we slide this on. Yeah, it does fit. That's nice. So let's tighten this up by hand a little bit. Get it in place. Tighten it up with the screwdriver. I'm gonna have to put the phone down. I'll be right back. All right, so it's on there. It doesn't wiggle. That's nice. It doesn't turn. It's good enough for me. Looks like it works. On. Off. Nice work. That'll get it done for now. So yeah, problem solving. That's how we do it. Work with what you got till you can find the right parts. But in the meantime, thanks for watching.